Right. So you see the title of this, and yeah, this is clear from out of left field compared to what I normally do and the recent trend of my videos. But it this one hit a bit close to home considering where I grew up while I when I first came to this country. So considering the title, especially the Potomac part, let me give you a bit of credentials about myself so that you can see that I'm not just fucking around here. All right. When I came to this country in 1993, I landed in Potomac. Most people don't land in a place like that. Bus. Um, I went to Wayside Elementary School. I don't remember the address of this place, but I went to Wayside Elementary School. I did a whole lot of moving around, but I went to Wayside Elementary School to start. Um, my kindergarten teacher was Miss Lee. Right next door was Mr. Levitz, I believe it was. This was back again, 1993. Um, I remember there was this one girl named, and I'm gonna start dropping names now, which is not usual of me. There was this one girl in my class that, well, not my class, in the adjacent side, sorry, kindergarten class named Tina Tarani. I liked her, and I think she secretly liked me too, even though we would always be fighting every time we saw each other. I don't know. So it's Miss Lee, Mr. Levitz. My first grade teacher's name was Miss Dunn. Right? Okay. And of course, if anybody happens to see this and know what I'm talking about, wait a minute, I remember you. Yeah. Um, they can just validate and verify what I'm saying here. I exited elementary school of the K through 12 at Potomac Elementary. I remember they had a scandal like just after I left about cheating on the standardized test or some shit like that. And then Hoover, and then blah 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 blah. Exited high school at Wooten. So, um, continuing with the credentials part, I lived at 9407 Eldrick Way, and that was before the two houses that are there now. Before it was one big house, nice house, the best house as far as I'm concerned in Potomac or in that area of Potomac. Um, I believe Alan Cohen was the guy that owned the house or the bank. He bought it from the bank, whatever the hell. And him and my mom worked out some deal. That place got demolished and two places got put there because, well, there's a hell of a lot of land there. And, well, I guess they thought it was going to waste. Another place, even deeper in Potomac that I lived at, 8917 Belmont Road. That's in Potomac as well. Forgot the zip code. Point is, what I'm about to say, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I used to live in that 1% area. All right. The title of this, Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, I used to do Uber. I stopped because of various reasons. Actually, I have a video coming up about that. Uh, but when I saw this, something kind of struck me off with it because I've heard of I have knowledge of. I have been made aware of this whole Real Housewives of fill in the blank. And yeah, okay, trashy ghetto stuff no matter where you go. Okay, fine. But then when one of my passengers told me after they found out that I used to live in Potomac, after they told me that, it something didn't seem too right about it. We went back and forth about it, and I was like, wait a minute, Potomac of all places, that's not exactly the kind of area that you would find what this kind of show needs, right? If you know what I'm saying, it's not exactly the area for that. And and yeah, I was kind of I'm like, Okay. I told him I was going to check it out. Now, I don't have a TV. I pride myself on not having a TV, so I didn't check it out. But, yeah, and then I happened to see it again looking at something here. I'm like, let me check this thing out. And I looked at it, I saw a preview, and part of me was just like, great. Just great. And I'll have a link to this preview, and you'll see exactly what I mean when I say that. And at this point, I'm going to kind of direct more towards black people, and I mean everybody else can listen in too, but I'm going to kind of direct it towards more towards black people. Simply put, Potomac is one of those 1% areas. If anybody, in fact, 1 second. I had said a while back, and I still plan on doing this. I'm actually going to review this book right here. I read this book while I was doing my bouncer job down at the Buffalo Billiards in DuPont Circle. I read this book through, and I was actually going to review it. So I'm very well aware of what Potomac is considered by outside of Potomac, and simply put, there's not that many black people in Potomac. About the only thing that I agree with this preview of the Real Housewives of Potomac is that there's not that many black people in there. So, considering again that I knew what the type and kind of people that this show needed, I was kind of surprised that they were able to find it in Potomac. And now this is what makes me kind of wonder if this show is really finding people from these areas, or are they importing people from other areas and putting them in there in these settings? Really has me wondering that, because again, there's not that many black people in there, and everybody in Potomac knows how you have to act, especially if you're going to be on TV. Okay, I mean, just acting at all, but it. I'm real suspicious about this show because Potomac is not the place that you can really do much of anything. There is a secrecy, well, not secrecy, but shit, man. Look, there's one single lane road, okay, that goes through Potomac, makes an L. It's River, what the fuck is it? It's River Road going down until you get to Potomac Center, like Potomac Village, and then it's Falls Road going out. From Rockville, one road goes into Potomac and then makes an L, and there's just one bus, the T2, that goes through there, and that's it. And that bus, as far as I'm concerned, is pretty much just to get the workers, usually Spanish, sometimes black, in and out, like the maids and lawn people or whatever, is to get them in and out. Okay? That's it. If you don't have a car there, you don't belong there. Just like this book said, um, you can see the kind of place that you're at just by looking at the cars. Volvo, Audi, Porsche, Beamers, right, Acuras. And the only time you're really going to find an old car is if it's an older version of those cars. Every now and then you see the regular cars, the Camry here and there, okay. Maybe a Nissan, alright. One or two Honda sprinkling, fine. But you start with a 3-point base: Porsche, BMW, Audi, Porsche, BMW, Mercedes. That 3-point base, then you move up from there. Okay, right. So why I directed this at black people is quite simply because I find it a little suspicious that no matter where that the media is trying to put out, it seems to me that the media is trying to put out this image of no matter where in society you are. This isn't the Real Housewives of Southeast. That okay, or Brooklyn, Bronx, New York, or South Central LA. That I would expect. But you go to essentially one of the richest areas. I mean, hell, I've lived in another rich area, so much so that I even still have. Let me. Y'all don't need to see this. That I still have it on my driver's license. In fact, I'll show it to you right here. If this thing focuses in, see that? That is a very powerful address to have. Okay, a very yes. Don't worry about my picture. That is a very powerful address. Okay, that right there is pretty much Potomac, but for international people. You find international money there. Okay, Potomac is pretty much like American rich. There is like international rich, right? I mean, you're gonna find Lambos coming out of apartments. You're gonna find international type cars, high end Range Rovers, Lambos. You're gonna find um, one person. I saw once, just once. I saw one of those 911s. What the fuck is it? No, Carrera GTS. I don't think they make them anymore. I saw one of those Carrera GTS, like the last one that they made. I saw that pull out of my own apartment complex that I used to live at there. Yeah, that's the kind of shit you see around there. Um, it seems to me that the media is trying to portray it so that black people specifically, no matter where they are, no matter how low or how high they are, there's just a certain way that they're going to act. And it's portraying black women. I mean, Real Housewives. Okay, even though from what I read on one of these things, one of these bitches is a single mother. So I'm like, okay, so how the hell are you a housewife? You're not even married. But okay, um, it's black women. Okay, fine. Well, not fine, but I'm taking this as black people because this. I'm looking through all these other housewives. I think I might have seen maybe some white somewhere. You start going off with the whole biracial thing. One woman came up in there. It just don't see any Spanish, don't see any Asians. But then again, I haven't watched this show. I don't watch this kind of show. I don't watch much shows at all, much less this type and kind of show. And call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever, but this seems a little bit suspicious. But you're not gonna find those kind of people in Potomac, okay? You're not. Sorry. Somebody who used to live there, somebody who grew up with the kind and type of people in that place, okay? And while I might not seem like I have the mentality of of having my nose so high up in the sky I can get high off fresh air, I do know how those people act. I grew up around them from 5 years old till whatever the hell. You're not gonna find those kind of women there. Okay? They will be driven out. Okay, so I think that they imported them, that they're not really from Potomac, and that they really imported them. Okay, because even if they were from Potomac, how they are portraying themselves. I mean, forget how they portray black people as a whole, right? Even though there's really not anybody the least bit quote unquote black there, right? Well, actually, like black looking, like they look like they tried to make them as least black looking as possible. I mean, there's not a single person that's like below tan looking, like a tan color, right? There's no strictly dark people out of all those women there. Nobody that looks like they're actually like from Africa or like looks quote unquote black. Like they look like they could be anything. Black, Spanish, not a single bit of natural black hair anywhere. Nothing even close. It's shit. You're not gonna find those kind of women there. I think they got imported from somewhere. I think they are just actors. They probably live wherever the hell else, and if it was anywhere else, fine, but not there. Probably not Chevy Chase either. But and the fact that they keep on using quote unquote black women or acting black quote unquote women, it's really a problem. It's really a problem. Now, if they had a nice even distribution of Asians, Indians, Middle Easterns acting this way, fine. But it seems to be disproportionately black. And I can tell you right now, as a black man that lived there, no, that does not fly there. Doesn't fly in the schools, doesn't fly in the society. Anybody who's in the DC metro area, just drive straight down to the center of Potomac and look at the people in that area. Just Potomac Village. Take Straw Snyder's or the Safe or the Giant or whatever, and just sit there and just watch. Just watch. I mean, once you get past all the old people and yes, the old money, just sit there and watch. Maybe go to a school or two. Just sit there and watch. And tell me if you think that you're going to find what this show portrays from these women. Well, what these women in this show portray there. Guarantee you won't. So, what's the point of this video? The point of this video is that, number one, as somebody who actually lived in Potomac for a number of years and actually grew up there and know how those people are, this looks suspicious. You don't find this in Potomac, all right? That's number one. You don't find these women there. Number two, it's not like, okay, these people need the money. It's like, okay, Real Housewives of, I don't know, Southeast DC, where they might need the money. So they go and act however. Potomac doesn't need your money. Okay? Hell, I'm not in Potomac anymore. I don't need your money. You couldn't pay me enough to go acting like that. To go acting stereotypically black, if you know what I mean. And I'm not rich. I'm not living in Potomac anymore. I'm not rich, you know. But even so, even I don't need your money. So you wouldn't catch me acting like that. Something smells suspicious about this show. But of course, you know what? The kind of people that would actually watch this show and hell. The target audience of a show like this well, anyway. But my main problem with this show, apart from the fact that it's portraying Potomac and people in Potomac, of which I used to live and I know of, right? And hell, Potomac is my old stomping grounds. So that's just that fucking simple, you know. Not trying to sound badass or hardcore or anything, but you know that's my backyard, right? Yeah, no, and something seems real suspicious with how they always keep having these quote unquote black women, these damn near different shades of Rachel Dolezal, if anybody knows who she is. The white woman that pretty much put on fucking blackface. I mean, the white woman that acted that I'll have a link to who she is. You can read up on that. That's the funniest. But yeah, nah. That's the two reasons for this video. This seems real suspicious. You don't find these kind of people in Potomac, truthfully, and something seems suspicious that they all just happen to be quote unquote black, even though they had a huge fight about it. So honestly, they could look like anything else, but they supposedly identify as black. Um, Whatever. So people don't fall for it. I think this. I'm willing to bet that this is all bullshit. I'd be surprised if they're really even in Potomac, or if they just shot a few scenes in Potomac, or shot some scenery of Potomac, but really they're in like some studio in like, I don't know, Wyoming or North Dakota or hell Hollywood somewhere. It wouldn't surprise me. But the amount of, I mean, they don't need their money, and then of course the power and reputation tarnishing and image brand and whatever the hell tarnishing of a show like this for people like some of the people that are in Potomac, or just I guess anybody in Potomac really. Mm-mm. Potomac is one of those areas that doesn't go out of their way to display themselves. Right? It's not like L.A. or Miami or New York or London or Paris. Potomac does not isn't trying to be seen, isn't trying to be put on the map. They're trying to keep themselves quiet. Okay, so a show like this, well, you know what? I'll end on this. Maybe it's not so bad because again, like I said, the kind of people that would watch this show are people that are never going to get to Potomac anyway. They're never going to get there. So, um, yeah, it might not even matter. But I do have a problem with the way, no matter which one. I mean, I took Real Housewives of this, that, now Potomac. I took a look at them, and they all seem to be more or less black, or at the very least, black ghetto acting. And yet they're in the 1% now, and they're still ghetto acting, and they just happen to all be black. A little suspicious about that, but take it from a black man here, right? None of that is actually Potomac. All right, later.